This time on Woody's Garage. Great. Something else that blows.
Here is the enemy. Here is what I'm going to combat it with. This thing I got with the boat motor and all that other stuff I picked up. It was kind of an all-for-nothing junk grab. Come get it. You know, you got to take everything. And this was in there. And the guy was a good cat. He said he picked this up and never did anything with it. He thought it needed a new carb. Now, I'm not going to lie. It's when I got this big batch of stuff, my friend came over and basically we're like, hey, let's see if this runs. So I did pour some gas into the carburetor and it started right up. So, like he said, you know, get a new carb for it. I'm going to get a new carb for it because dealing with these little carburetors is just like ridiculous. It does have some terrible looking gas in it. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. So what's that you say? You want to see me try to start it as is? Okay. Primer bulb. Not sucking up anything. Probably half the problem. Got it on start. No. Alright, let's take off the air filter cover. Oh, already we have a surprise. 2 different screws. Got a Torx. And we got a straight. Nice little air filter, looks pretty clean. Okay, it looks like a T20 for these. Nice, like stainless or something. Okay, here we got the carb. Now, of course for fun, it's a choke lever. Let's see if we can get it running with a little bit of gas splashed in. So a little gas coming up to the primer bulb this time. But it's kind of my guess. I know that I don't know if these lines go bad quite often. This carb might even be good. I don't know, but it's, you know, I bought the new carb kit for I think like 10 bucks on eBay, and I'll show you that in a second. This is what I got in the kit. I saw other more elaborate kits that included a new air filter, spark plug, this, that, and the other thing. But we got a new primer. We got 2 gaskets. We got 2 gas lines. I think we might need 3. That's kind of weird. We got the carburetor, and we got this carb adjustment tool, which is great. We could use it on the other engines too, because this fits the mixture adjustments like just right. Another thing we got to do, my favorite, is to get the old gas out. That's not going to do us any favors. Looks sort of like diluted cranberry juice or something. A little foggy. Might be a little water in there, who knows. Oh. Was that it? I think it fell out. I was wrong on that gas. The other gas line, the one that was further out, has the filter on it. Say aw. Okay. Okay, there is the filter. The gas line doesn't really want to go through. We'll just cut that thing off. Yeah, we'll just get out the old Barlow knife and cut you the hell off. Try not to destroy the gas tank at the same time. Yeah, and there's the filter. And here's the gas line. We'll remember that the long one, the long brown one, you see that? The long brown one is the one that had the filter on it. I find this a little strange. The end of the gas hose has this wrapping, like this wire wrapping to hold it on there. We're gonna have to reuse this. I even double checked the ad to see if like this was supposed to be included and it wasn't, but we'll just brake clean it out and blow it out with air. That'll do it. Now we'll see if we can blow the debris out of the tank. Although it doesn't look, it looks very clean in there, so I don't think anything's gonna come out except for maybe some gas. Nothing. Good enough. Then we got T25 on these two screws that hold the carb to the engine. At least I think they do. Ah, it's a beautiful fall day. We've had so much rain all summer long and this fall. It's really nice when you get a day like this. It's not cold yet. Alright, I got the bottom one like hanging by a thread there. This one's out. This thing has a throttle cable. You can see it right in there. Right there. I got to be aware of. It's on the 1, 2, 3, 4th notch. Can you see it? Or the, yeah, it's, or the 3rd notch on the right side. I say that aloud so I can look at the video just in case I forget, which I'm liable to do. Okay, this is going to open a whole can of worms when I take this off. Oh, it's still really stiff. All the gas lines and all the everything, you know. Nightmare scenario. Long. They got washers on them. Don't lose those. And this thing holds the primer. The carb is kind of stuck to this gasket, which I need so I cannot rip it. Oh, feels kind of like it's ripping. Okay. So here we got the primer. That was that. Remember that one that got cut off? That broke off? Weird thing is I never retrieved that out of the tank. Well, maybe it didn't need to because this is the return. Okay, get that out of the way. This is a short hose. Comes to the top. Let me spray something down in here. Some kind of lube so that it releases from the gasket. Try to get some WD-40 down there. Yeah, the top of that carb certainly looks rusty. Let that work in there a little bit. Get this crappy putty knife in there and oh boy. No, that gasket is trashed. Trashed, I tell ya. But they gave me gaskets, didn't they? Ha ha ha. Okay, there's the throttle cable. Hopefully it won't get sucked inside there somewhere. And here's a carburetor. Okay, I think you can figure out which one's the old one. Look about the same that way. And besides the gasket, that's a primer hole right there. Oh, this only has 2 places for the throttle. But this one had 5, and remember, from this side we're 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of clean. It's kind of nice if you like scribe that, or can hit it with a pen, a marker or something to remember where it went from, but I think we can remember that. Ah, we got some nice debris inside here. A mini oak thing, whirly bird. I think we'll probably cut that away, although that is used as a way to keep the engine cool, I believe. So we don't want to totally lose this thing. This is what I'm talking about. But we do want to get a gasket on the engine there. I peeled back that shield a little bit. You can take a better look in here. Clean it off a little bit. We can turn our attention to the primer bulb. This is, remember, this is the hose that just goes into the tank. This is the return line. And these primers, I'm going to take this off now. That's a long side, and there's a short side. So the return back to the tank is long, and the other side goes to the carb. So let's get this old primer out. It just has 2 like tabs in here. I can find a screwdriver. You just kind of go like this. Yeah. So you just go like this. Okay, yeah, see. Kind of got one. And there, it pops out. I want to leave the gas line on just because I'm such a bad memory. I'll forget. Okay, and that comes out like this. So we have the long one on the outside, although it doesn't really matter. Long one on the outside. Get in there. Yeah, so easy with brute strength. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. Hopefully a little 50-to-1 gas mix will make that unsqueaky. And we stuck a gas line on it just to kind of remember. There's still the other one in here. short one. I get the old carburetor again. Up here is the pump. Down here is a diaphragm. I always used to think that, like, you know, it should feed into the diaphragm, but no, it should feed into the pump. We got this long line here, and now I'm confused. But you do notice it, like, so I should have, confusing myself. That there is this short line too. This goes to the primer right here, and that goes into the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is the thing that gets primed, but the fuel pump is the thing that keeps the fuel going. If that makes any sense. Hardly makes any sense to me. I think we're going to need to reuse this hose. So we got the old hose going from the bottom where the diaphragm is up to the short nipple.
I have nipples.
Of the primer bulb. Okay, I'm being an expert on this. It doesn't look like they give you enough line. I mean, look at how long this line is. There's a connection there too, so it's like patched together. I mean, this thing isn't even as long as that. So we're going to reuse this line too. This goes from the fuel pump. This goes into the tank. Now you can cut these into a V to get them through the hole a little easier, but since we already cut it to get the filter off, we need as much length as we can. I think we'll just try to jam it in there. Get in there. No, it doesn't like that. Okay, we cut it into a little devil's tongue there. And we cut off the other end of it too, so it'll make a tight fit on the carb. So we lost a little bit of real estate there. Let's see if it helps get it in there. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah. I mean, another thing about these little engines is this hole needs to be tight. If the air can get in there, it's not going to work right. Okay, let's see if we can pull it through a little bit. A little lube on it. Okay. Doesn't really help. Okay. Now we want to cut this end back off again. The old Barlow knife again. Can't find my razor knife anyplace. Yeah, that's right. Cut a hole in the tank. Okay. Yeah, we didn't. We got to get the filter in here. That's going to be a tight fit. Get in there. Get in there. Yep. Little by little. Step by step. And I'll tear it apart. Yep. We need to come in a little bit more. Okay, that's pretty good. Right now we're at that seam that I showed you where the two join. I'm starting to wonder if I can push this through or not. I don't want to screw up that hole, but I pulled it out that way. And I'm not sure exactly how much hose I need, but this hose needs to go way down to here. We don't have that much length right now. Okay, we're still right at the seam here. It doesn't seem to really want to go in there. And we're about down to here with the filter. I mean, yeah, if I have to fill it up that much more, that's okay. It's not a big problem. Next thing we got to do is we got to cut out this to allow for the new gasket yet still kind of make this serve its purpose. Okay, let's see what kind of hack job we can do on this with toenail clippers. Notice the notch right there. Yeah, I think that's good. Toenails will never be the same. Yeah, here's one of the gaskets that has that hole. So that one's got to go in here. And the gasket's got to fit around this. I think it's got room. We also have to attach the throttle cable. I'd like to see if I can get a little lube on that throttle cable and where it comes from. Okay, you see this? I hope you do. Okay, so we have the two different gaskets. This gasket, I assume it goes like, maybe like this. With that just over this hole, which has the choke. Seems like it would make sense. And then the cover. And then the screws, and the rest of this has to go in. These nasty looking screws, a little lube on them. Get the screws started. Hopefully. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, baby, line up. There we go. Alright. Yeah, these are still kind of nasty. Wipe them off. And this will be like this. We want to take this other gasket and put it like this, so the holes with the hole. Okay, one thing I'm looking at before I think about the hoses is, remember the throttle? We're on the 1, 2, 3, 4th from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4th from the right. This one only has 2, but if you hold the carburetors together, that means you just use this one. That's the only choice you got. And you know, that one's just out of bounds. Okay, bear with me. It seems strange, but this one, which sucks up from the bottom of the tank with the filter on it, goes on the fuel pump. That makes sense. Oh. Get on there. Come on. Baby, get them on there. Okay, that's on there. And this, which is kind of crazy, is a primer, but this goes back into the tank. That's a return. I know, it's crazy. Okay. And we'll cut that one too to go in there. In the meantime, okay. Oh, kind of hard to hold. Let's see if we can get the throttle cable into the carburetor. There we go. We'll see if we can get the carb started at least. Son of a bitch. Okay. This is terrible. I'm trying to like adjust the cam so you can see it while I'm holding this thing together with one hand. Yeah, the cable fell out, so I'll put it back in again. Probably some needle nose would help here. Because, yeah, where did it go? Here it is. Okay. Let's see if we can just get one of these screws started. Or two of them just started. By the way, if you don't have a set of Torx, I got these at Harbor Freight with a set of metric and SAE hex wrenches for like, I don't know, it was under 10 bucks, I think. But they're not bad. They're not screwdrivers, but they're not too bad. Okay, that's not going to fall off, I hope. And throttle. Yeah, okay. Watch, since you don't believe me. Okay, but it's loose. We still got to get this, cut this end and push it in. Cut. Don't really have to do the devil's tongue. I think this works just fine. And all it really needs to do is get inside the tank. It doesn't need to have to be any special length, as far as I know. Okay. Now I guess all we got to do is tighten up the carb. Okay, that's pretty tight, or tight enough. Let's see how everything looks. I think these will be fine, just the way they are. I think that's right. Like I said, the throttle does work. Primer feels like it will work. I guess what we've got to do next is put some gas in it. By the way, this is where the spark plug resides, in case you didn't know. You can kind of grab this thing with some pliers and put it back on. Yeah, we're going to be brave and we'll put the plate on with the filter in here. Okay. Now it's 50 to 1. So we gotta mix up some gas. Alright, we got gas up to here. 50 to 1. Let's see if this primer works. Oh, some gas. Doing its thing. It says 10 times. I already lost track. 9, 10, okay. Put this to start. A is up here. Let's see if it works. It started off pretty good. Put it down to run. Maybe I didn't do 10 after all. Switch. Yeah, it could use some fine tuning. If you see those two down in there, those two screws, you oh, now you can see them. Those two black things down there, that's what that screwdriver thing's for. That little screwdriver right there. And I gotta find out, I should have looked before I put the carburetor. Oh, I can look at the old carburetor. They usually mark them with an H and an L. But they don't on this one. To know which is the high and which is the low. And on these carburetors, I can't recall if you do one before the other. Let me look into that. Take a lunch break. But we're running good. Okay, back from lunch break. I smell like a tuna fish sandwich. And hey, we got it running pretty good. But a couple of things we want to do is see if we get, it was slightly bogging, but it's totally usable. And I want to check the idle and see if we can get it idling really low. That idle adjustment is a big silver job right there. Now, I showed you the other two before where they are, and what I found out is that generally, or almost always, the jet closer to the side of the carburetor is the high adjustment, and the adjustment closest to the engine is low. That's what I've heard. Now, I might tweak them a little bit. I guess it would be the high that I want to adjust, so I'm going to adjust the one that's on the left there and just see if I can get it to rev up a little faster. So we got our little specialized screwdriver on there. Beautiful. I turned it about a 1/16 of a turn in, and that was it, and that did it. And what I've heard on these is sometimes they'll just start to bog down, and usually you turn the high out a little bit, and that usually rectifies the problem with a little more gas, and so it doesn't bog. So that's a Ryobi BP42. I can't wait for leaves. Yeah, right.